Good evening, everyone. Today we'll continue with chapter number 1 of Social Science, class 10, Resources of India. My topics today will be soil, its formation, types, distribution and conservation, water, sources of water, their types, distribution and conservation of water. I'll start with the meaning of soil. As we all know, soil is the most valuable resource given by nature. Without soil, economic development, human development, any kind of development is not possible of any country. So, if we'll define soil, we can say that soil is the uppermost layer of the earth crust, which is made up of parent rock, sand and clay material through which plants can grow and vegetation can develop. So in short, we can say it is the uppermost layer where we will find the vegetation of various kinds and various types. If we'll see that soil is most important element for human life also. Why? Because each and every organism is dependent on soil some way or the other, directly or indirectly. Each and every industry is connected with soil or its produce. For example, if you will take paper industry, paper industry is connected with paper and paper is connected with bamboo and bamboo is connected with soil. If you think about furniture industry, furniture is connected with trees and finally trees are also connected with soil. So one way or the other, each and every type of industry is connected with soil or its produce. If we will see the formation of soil, soil is a renewable resource, but its process of formation is very slow. It takes hundreds and thousands of years in its proper formation. So we cannot say soil is a very common resource, but soil takes lots of years for its proper formation, and there are many factors which affect the formation of soil. It is the type of parent rock, it is the topographical conditions, the climatic conditions, the geographical conditions, the rocks, the weathering of rocks, small particles, animals, their remains, everything is connected with the formation of soil, and these factors affect the formation of soil. Next we have soil profile. As I have already given you the diagram in my notes, soil profile, you will see that it is a sequence, color, texture and nature of layers superimposed on each other, one above other, and it is exposed in a pit section dug through soil mantle. We'll see that these sequences of layers have various characteristics. Each layer has different characteristics. There are mainly 4 layers in soil profile. First layer is topmost layer, that is uppermost layer. Second, subsoil. Third is weathered parent rock, and fourth is parent rock, means the original rock on which any soil formation can take place. So this is soil profile. Now I'll tell you the layers and various characteristics of each layer. First is topsoil. Topsoil is the uppermost layer and it is actually the real soil which we can see or which is visible. There is humus and organic matter present in that layer. Plants grow in that layer only. We can see the plant growing through that layer. Second layer is subsoil. Mainly rocks and sand particles with clayey material are present in that layer. Third layer is weathered parent rock. The last layer, that is parent rock, which is solid, which is whole. The withered, or we can say the broken particles of parent rock, are found in the third layer. And last is fourth layer, that is the main parent rock, original rock, from which something else can be formed. This is the soil profile. Next, I'll tell you the distribution of soil, or we can say the various types of soil. Indian soil has many types and categories because India has various geographical positions and situations in which different soil is formed, and through that soil different vegetation is formed. So, firstly I'll tell you the various types of soil. First soil is alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is light brown in color and it has some clayey or loomy particles. It is a bit clayey and loomy. Deficient in nitrogen and phosphorus and humus. It is deficient in these material, but it is rich in potash and lime. There are mainly three rivers of India, that is Satluj, Ganges and Brahmaputra. These are originating from Himalayas, which carry this type of soil. There are fine particles. When these rivers carry this soil with them, there are fine particles which are known as alluvium. 40% of the country's soil is alluvial soil. The main states where this soil is found is Punjab, Haryana, Bihar and Assam. You can find that through the rivers somewhere to these states. So, this soil is found in areas. Next is black soil. Black soil is mainly dark black in color, made of finely grained particles, deficient in nitrogen and phosphorus, but it is also rich in lime, magnesium and aluminium. We can say that it is mostly suitable for cotton and cereals. Why? Because the content present in that soil, that is black soil, is suitable for the growth of cotton. It is mainly found in Gujarat, Maharashtra, MP, Orissa. Next soil is red soil. As through the name you can know that it is red in color. Somewhere it is brown in color, somewhere it is chocolate yellow in color. And iron is present in that soil, which gives it the red color. Secondly, bajra, wheat, millets are grown in this soil. You have to note that in which soil which crop is grown, where it is found, which color is it. So you have to keep a record of it. It is found mainly in UP, Rajasthan, Jharkhand and Maharashtra. Next is laterite soil. Laterite soil is formed due to the disintegration, or we can say breaking of the laterite rock. It is poor in lime, phosphorus, potash, but it is rich in humus. It is good for cereals, tea, coffee, rice. And it is found in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Orissa. Next is desert soil. Through its name you can know that desert soil is mainly found in desert areas, or we can say the states where there is more desert area. That is Rajasthan. These are coarse sand particles. Moisture is less, humus is less, contains soluble salt content. It is mainly good for sugarcane, bajra and jowar. Last type of soil is mountain soil. Same with the name, you can know that it is mostly found in Himalayan ranges and it is slightly sandy, porous and contains less humus. Very marshy and very porous. It is found mostly in middle Himalayas. Middle Himalayas means in the middle part of Himalayas. Good quality tea is produced in this type of soil, and if you will connect tea with any state, it is Assam. So this soil is mainly found in Assam, Darjeeling, Nainital, because mostly tea is grown there. This was all about the types and distribution of soil. I'll again summarize it. First was alluvial soil, second was black soil, third red soil, fourth laterite soil, next desert soil, and last was mountain soil. Next I'll tell you about soil erosion. Erosion means draining of the uppermost layer of the soil, or we can say draining of the soil due to running water or wind or any other element which causes destruction of uppermost layer of the soil. Causes of soil erosion means why it takes place and what are the main reasons behind soil erosion. First reason we can say it is deforestation. When we cut down trees continuously, so the strength of the soil decreases and finally soil is affected and it washes off or drains very quickly because it is having no strength. Overgrazing, when cattle and other animals are grazing on the uppermost layer of the soil, so it weakens and then it easily washes off. Wind, very fast wind or we can say very strong winds are blowing and then soil can easily be gone with the winds. And shifting cultivation, when cultivation is not done in a very systematic manner, it is not done in a managed way, so soil can be eroded. And what will be the effect of soil erosion? If soil will be not there or if it will be eroded, what will be the effect or we can say consequences? First will be there will be dry season. Because of the trees, because of the soil, we get water. Clouds get attracted and we get water. So dry season will be there. Problem of irrigation will be there. Why? Because there will be no soil, so irrigation will not be possible. Adverse effects on land, vegetation will be low, there will be global warming, there will be silting of streams, small streams will be filled with sand particles, and finally the vegetation and the food supply will be hampered. Next I'll tell you soil conservation, how we can protect our soil. Conservation means prevention of soil erosion or depletion of soil. If we are protecting our soil from getting depleted or we can say from erosion, it is known as soil conservation. How you are protecting your soil and what you can do, you can just opposite the negative points, it will give you a positive effect. Deforestation was negative, now we'll plant more trees. So first way of conserving is we can plant more trees, we can avoid overgrazing, we can develop different lands for grazing, or we can collect the rain water. If rain water will be collected, the excess water will not be overflowed and soil will be protected. We can make field ridges. Field ridges means that if river water is flowing or we can say if there is water on the land, we can make some divisions in between so that water is saved in those divisions on the land. And we can do various farmings on mountain region through which the water is not easily carried away. We can save the water on all the parts of the land. In this way I have completed my soil. Now I'll start with water. Water is again a very important and basic resource which is needed by human beings, animals, plants. Each and every element of nature needs water. So most essential element in nature is water. Major sources of water are surface water, groundwater, atmospheric water and oceanic water. Surface water is found on the uppermost layer of the earth crust. Mainly rivers, ponds, lakes carry surface water. In India, where there are many rivers, Indus, Brahmaputra and Ganga carry 60% of the water, surface water in our country. Second is groundwater. Groundwater is that water which is soaked by the land. It percolates below the surface of the land. It is mainly found in tube wells, or we can say bores. Last, its potential is very high in plain areas. Where there are plain areas, you will find more groundwater than rocky areas. Next is atmospheric water. Atmospheric water is in the form of water vapors. The vapors you see in the air, that is atmospheric water. We cannot use this water. Last is oceanic water. Oceanic water is found in oceans and seas. Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean. These are the major sources of oceanic water. This water is mainly used for transportation purpose, for fishing, recreation facilities or production of electricity. This form of water resource gives foreign exchange to the country. Next, problems related to water resources. There are many problems nowadays, such as pollution of water, scarcity of water, high demand but low supply of water, and this is because of the rapid industrialization and population growth. Industries are being set up near the water resources, and through chemicals and other pollutants, water is being polluted. So these are various problems related to water resources. And lastly, I'll tell you the conservation of water. Conservation means how you will protect water from getting polluted. Firstly, you can do is prevent water pollution. How you will prevent? By providing guidelines to the people, by banning the polythene and plastic bags, by proper management and cleaning of water resources. Next, collection of rainwater through rainwater harvesting, scientific management of water resources. And lastly, we can make people aware about the importance of clean water, because many waterborne diseases are there in environment. So we can make them aware about the purity and usefulness of clean water. So in this way I have completed 2 topics today, that is soil and water. I hope you have understood it. In the next video I'll tell you about the forest and wildlife. Thank you.